In this video, I'll show you how to create a coloring book for kids using AI technology that you can publish and sell on Amazon KDP. Hi, I'm Caroline. Welcome to my channel. Every single week, I share videos all about self-publishing books, and you're watching one of them right now. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me here. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing so that you do not miss out on any more videos just like this one. And don't forget to check out the link down in the description box below that will take you to the waitlist for my soon to be released self-publishing course with a focus on low and medium content books, so that you are the first to be notified when it is available. Okay, so I know that using AI to create books is a bit of a controversial topic. You either don't mind AI or you absolutely hate it and think it should not be used for anything, especially publishing books, and that it's just totally wrong to use it. This video isn't about whether it is right or wrong to be using AI to create books. AI isn't going anywhere. In fact, it just seems to be getting more popular and just more involved in literally every program that we use. Amazon KDP does accept people using AI to help create their books. In fact, they have invested in their own AI tool that is going to be integrated as part of Amazon. So this video is just going to be for anyone who is interested in using AI to create books, and more specifically, coloring books. Coloring books are just one of those niches that everybody wants to make books in. And if you're wondering why that is, we will take a look at why now. Coloring books are one of the most popular types of books on Amazon with its customers, and there are a lot of people making a lot of money selling coloring books. Coloring books for adults are probably the most popular. There is massive potential to make a lot of money publishing and selling adult coloring books, especially if you happen to have one of your books get into the top sellers or the bestseller lists of Amazon. I just shared a video a couple of weeks ago all about this particular coloring book brand selling simple adult coloring books. But today we are looking at coloring books for kids. This niche is just as popular as the adult coloring book niche, but they can be a lot easier to make. Some of the adult coloring books are very detailed. They can get very artistic and creative, and some publishers hire illustrators to create the coloring pages for them. But with kids coloring books, it isn't necessary to do this. Here is the difference between some coloring images for adults and coloring images for kids. First of all, looking at a coloring book for kids about unicorns, this is a simple unicorn coloring page for kids. This one here is a first coloring book which is aimed at toddlers or kids starting from the age of 1. Very, very simple illustrations. And then if we pop over to an adult coloring book and we look at the types of images within those ones, you can see they're a lot more detailed, a lot more creative and artistic. Same with this mindfulness coloring book for adults. Just a lot less space. The space to color in is a lot smaller than what you would get with a kid's coloring book. And this is another adult's coloring book with some really detailed artistic style of coloring images within it. So you can really see the difference between a kid's coloring book, the type of images within them, and an adult's coloring book. Now let's have a look at what some of these coloring books are potentially earning in terms of royalties. So essentially, we just want to have a quick look at the kids coloring book niche and just assess the type of incomes that can be made and the kind of popularity that there is with these kind of books. So when we're looking at the kids coloring books, what we're looking for is the bestseller rank. So the bestseller rank is this number below each of the books, which basically determines a book's popularity within the Amazon marketplace. So the lower that number, the better. The lower that number, the more books that are selling. And these ones that you see here with bestseller ranks of under 200 or under 500 are extremely popular and are going to be selling a lot of books. And so we're going to use that bestseller rank to estimate how many books are being sold and then how much royalties are being made. I'm going to start with a unicorn coloring book for kids aged 4 to 8, which currently has a bestseller rank of 1,919. And I'm going to use the Kindlepreneur book sales calculator. Just before we start looking at income, I would like to take less than 1 minute to share one of my longtime affiliate partners, Publisher Rocket, which is brought to you by Kindlepreneur. I have been using Publisher Rocket myself since I started my self-publishing journey back in 2020, and it is the ultimate tool for you to optimize your book's listings and dominate the Amazon marketplace. You'll be able to discover profitable keywords to help increase your book's ranking, which in turn will increase your book sales and your income. You'll also be able to analyze categories for your book to go into spy on your competition and steal their marketing strategies and supercharge your Amazon ads if you plan on using them. Everyone who is serious about self-publishing needs Publisher Rocket. So come join myself and over 100,000 other self-publishers and authors and click the link down in the description box below to get Publisher Rocket for yourself. Okay, let's get into these figures. So going back to the unicorn coloring book, I'm going to pop this bestseller rank of 1,919. We have a paperback. So already it's estimating that this book is selling over 1,300 copies per month. But if we want to work out the royalties, we just need to pop in a couple of details. So we've got 102 pages and it's selling for $5.99. So at the moment, this book is going to be earning approximately $1,900 each month from that really simple kids coloring book. This is another one that I've pulled up, Mermaid Coloring Book, again for kids aged 4 to 8, and this one has a bestseller rank of 711. So we pop 711 into the book sales calculator. This one has 103 pages, so basically the same book, just selling a bit more because it's a more popular book, and this one's going to be selling around about 2,600 copies per month, which equals to around $3,800 in royalties. And I don't know if you noticed or if you were looking closely enough, but these two books are actually by the same publisher, Silly Bear. So they have a series of books, 12 books in the Silly Bear coloring books, and those first two that we just very quickly looked at are bringing them in somewhere around the $6,000 mark just for those two books. And as you can see, they've got 12 of these kids coloring books. Another book I just wanted to have a look at is this one here, the Creative Toddler's First Coloring Books for ages 1 to 3. This is as simple as you can get with a kids coloring book. Look how simple those coloring pages are, and it has a bestseller rank of 188. So let's pop this one in and see how much this is making. 103 pages selling for $5.99. So this one's going to be selling over 6,300 copies per month. And look at the earnings per month. It's nearly $10,000 a month from the most simple kind of coloring book that you could possibly make. All right, now enough of looking at book sales. How can you make books like this for yourself and publish and sell them on Amazon? Step 1, you need to come up with an idea of what type of coloring book you want and what age you want to target. Do you want to target toddlers or older kids? Do you want to create a book specifically targeting girls or boys or both? Do you want to focus on a specific subject like animals or space or the alphabet, or just have a whole range of different types of images within your book? Because this will all determine the types of images that you need to create for your book. Step 2, compile a list of image designs you want for each page of your book. If you're creating a book based around a particular topic, let's say mermaids, for example, then you need to come up with a bunch of different ideas of different mermaids within different scenes or different ocean scenes for each page. If you're creating something like an alphabet coloring book, then you're going to need to come up with a list of things starting with each letter of the alphabet that you could potentially make into an image to create a coloring page for that alphabet coloring book. If you are stuck at this point, you can use AI tool ChatGPT to get a list of ideas for images to use in your book. Let me show you an example. We're in ChatGPT and you could say something like, create a list of images that could be used in a children's coloring book for girls aged 4 to 8. And we'll see what that comes up with. ChatGPT is very, very quick, and we can see it's just spitting out a list of different images that you could possibly try to make. So we could try to make a fairy princess, a unicorn, a mermaid. So these are all really great ideas, specifically targeting girls that could go into a coloring book for little girls aged around 4 to 8, and just play with that until you get a list that you're happy with. You could also just use the image AI tool that you're going to be using to create the actual images to help if you're not sure what kind of images or what specific topics or subjects you want to include in each image. Your AI tool can help you do that too and just create them for you. I will show you an example of that a little bit later in the video when we start creating the images. But for now, on to step 3. Once you have all this figured out and you know what image is going to go on each page, it's time to start creating your coloring images. And you will need to have an account for Midjourney. That is the AI tool that I'm going to be using in this video. You do need to pay to use Midjourney. It is very affordable though, especially when you are creating lots of different images for coloring books. Once you have Midjourney, it then uses Discord servers to allow you to create the prompts. It sounds a little complicated, but trust me, it is all very simple to use once you get in there and start using it. Now, Prompts are just a collection of words that you will be using to tell Midjourney what type of image it is that you want it to create. Creating prompts will take a little bit of experimenting. There is no one specific way of writing a prompt that I can give you or that anyone else can give you, but experimenting is going to help you work out what works best in order to produce the kind of images that you have in your head. You can also use AI to help you out with this if you want. You could go back to ChatGPT and ask it to create a Midjourney prompt. Create a Midjourney prompt to create a coloring book page for girls age 4 to 8. That will be a scene of a whimsical fairy princess with a sparkling wand and delicate wings. So you can use the prompt that ChatGPT gave you and ask it then to create a prompt for Midjourney to create that coloring book page. And very specific. I will pop that into Midjourney a bit later and we'll see what that comes out like. I have a feeling it's not going to be suitable for young girls. The way that it's worded, I feel like it's going to spit out more of an adult coloring page, but we will pop that in and see what happens. I would basically use this just as a base to get an idea of how you need to word your prompt. It's just a good starting point to give you an idea of how Midjourney prompts work if you've just got no clue how to do it. Now, your next option is just to experiment again. I'm going to head into Midjourney now and we'll start creating a few prompts. In order for Midjourney to create a prompt, we need to use the command /imagine, and that's how all prompts start. And then we can start writing whatever we want. So let's use that prompt from ChatGPT and just see what it's going to bring up in Midjourney. And so what it does is it produces 4 images based on the prompt that you've entered. And yes, as I expected, these are a lot more detailed and way too advanced for a child aged 4 to 8. So the prompt didn't really explain what we had asked for. But let's get back to the kids prompts. Now, in terms of coloring pages, there are certain words that you're going to want to use to, for one, make it come out like a coloring page. So that's going to be using words like kids coloring page, black and white background, and words to those effects. So let's have a look at some examples. The first prompt I'm going to do is just going to be simple, and I find that it's better to start off with a very simple prompt and just see what comes out and add in from there. So we're going to ask for very simple cartoon style for girls aged 4 to 8, mermaid with tiara, coloring page. And we'll see what comes out with that. And so it's brought up some really, really nice, really simple mermaid coloring images. I especially like this one up here, number 2. And it has pretty much got it on the first go of what I entered in that prompt. So sometimes your prompts can be really simple. Sometimes the prompts don't need to be this big description like this one up here. So I feel like that worked out okay. And you could just regenerate that prompt a few times and see what it spits out. If you like this one, but maybe you want a few subtle variations just to see what else it would come out, you can use this V button down here, which means variation, and you can vary either image 1, 2, 3, or 4. So if you wanted to vary image 2, you would just click that and it would regenerate 4 more images based on this image here. Let's try another example using a similar prompt to this. So we want to add the imagine prompt, and I'm going to change this to just cute unicorn in front of a rainbow, and let's see what that comes up with. Now you also have to describe the style of image that you want. Generally, coloring images for kids are cartoonish, so using the word cartoon. Very cute and babyish, so using words like that, using words like cartoon, cute, baby animals, whereas adult coloring books won't be described like that. You can see from that prompt from ChatGPT, there was no words like cute, baby, adorable, and that's why it created these really sort of adult type of coloring pages. But when you use the words cartoon, cute, adorable, it produces images like this. Now, this one is not what we're looking for, but these ones are a little bit closer to what we would want. This one has maybe a little bit too much going on, but I do like these two at the top. They're simple, there's a lot of white space, and more suited for younger kids. Now, here's another example that could work. I'm just going to give you a few different examples of just playing around with the prompts to see what it's going to bring up for you. So you could try something like coloring page for toddlers, minimalistic, simple, lots of white space, clear lines, isolated on white background. So we'll see what that brings up. It's just another way of trying to create something very simple with a lot of white space suitable for a child. And when I mentioned earlier of using your AI tool to help you generate ideas for coloring pages, if you're not sure exactly what you want on each page, this prompt is also helpful if you're not sure what images you do want in your coloring book and you want Midjourney to just come up with whatever. So in the first prompt, we asked for a mermaid. And in the second one, we asked for a unicorn. This one, I didn't specify that. And so we can just see what it's going to come up with. And so it's brought up 2 elephants, a bunny rabbit, and a little boy. And those are kind of cute. I like the elephant. Bunny's sort of cute as well and quite suitable for a toddler's coloring book. And so you could just regenerate that prompt over and over again and just see what Midjourney produces for you. And if you're happy with what it's producing, then you can start using those images in your book. And when you're starting to get close to what you want your images to look like, you can start adding in some extra commands to help really get your coloring page to look like what we would maybe call a true coloring page, and maybe a little less looking like it was generated by an AI tool. Even though we are using AI to create them, we want to be able to produce something as close as possible to what a true illustration would look like so that we can provide customers with the best possible coloring book that we can. So what we'll do is we'll continue using this prompt, and then we're going to add in a command for no color. So you need to add these 2 lines, which gives a command, and we want no color. Because sometimes when we put in a prompt that we're asking for black and white, or we're asking for a white background, or we're asking for a coloring page, it will still have color in it sometimes. So we'll add that command in. Now, most of the time, we also want our coloring books to be an 8.5 by 11 inch sized book. And Midjourney creates these square shaped images as a default. So to fix that so that your images fit nicely on your page, we can add in aspect ratio. And there's a few different ones that you can use, but I'm going to just use 9:11. And the next thing we'll do is to make it look a little bit less like it was produced AI, we're going to adjust the style. So adding in style and raw is going to remove that typical styling that Midjourney adds to its images. So removing the style is going to help create a more original looking image. So these are getting a little closer to looking like really great images for a kid's coloring book. We've got a bear, reindeer, snowman, and a giraffe. Let's keep playing with the commands though. I'm going to copy this command and enter it in again so we can make some adjustments. I'm just going to adjust this one here, the no color, to include that there's no gray, no shadow, and no shading, as well as no color. And then I'm going to adjust the stylizing. Now, this is going to allow you to scale how close to the prompt you entered or how artistic you want Midjourney to go with the image. So I'm going to stylize it by 10 and just see what it does to the images and how close to the prompt it's going to stay, or whether it's going to do something completely away from the prompt that I entered. One thing I find with Midjourney that makes it look quite AI is it creates the big eyes with the white little reflection in them. And so it's produced some interesting results here. So some of them look not so great, and this one has 2 tails. And this was one that I produced a little bit earlier, and it's really starting to get good. It looks like an awesome coloring page to have in your book. I really like this giraffe. That is exactly the kind of image that you would want in a toddler coloring book. And really the longest part of the whole process of creating a kid's coloring book using AI is going to be this. It's going to be getting those prompts right, getting them to the place where you want them to be, where it's producing the exact kind of images that you actually want. And then even when you have created images you're pretty much happy with in Midjourney, you may still have to sometimes take them into another program, maybe something like Photoshop or even Canva, to remove anything that you may not want in the image. Okay, so now you're at the point where you've created an image that you really like and you want to use it. What you'll do is you will upscale the image. And what that means is it creates a high quality version of the image so that you can download it. Now, there are also other upscaling tools that you can use separate to Midjourney, but for now, upscaling in Midjourney is sufficient. And that's what these buttons underneath the image means. So you can upscale each image to be able to download it in higher quality. So let's say we want to upscale image 1. We click the upscale button and it has created a higher quality version of that particular image that I want to use in my coloring book. We click on the image, open it in our browser, and then we can just basically save the image and it's ready to go into a coloring book. So once you have done this to as many images as you want and you have all your coloring images downloaded and ready to go into your book, let's go create your book. You can do this using whatever program that you feel comfortable with. I like using Microsoft PowerPoint or Canva to create coloring books. Canva is, of course, free for anyone to use, so I will use Canva in this example. This is basically the easy part. All you want to do is create your book canvas, and then from here, we just want to upload our images into Canva so that you can literally just click on it and add it to the page, adjust the sizing. If, for example, you were creating an alphabet coloring book, you can add a word under here, B is for bear, something like that. We want to add a second page, add our next coloring image, adjust it to fit the page, or add whatever it is you want on the page, and just continue adding your images on there. If you do want to add a black page after each coloring page, like a lot of coloring books do, just head over to Elements, select a black shape and just drag it to fill the page, and that's as simple as it gets to create a black page after each coloring image. And we just want to continue adding our images. We can go back and duplicate this one, move it down, add a page, add our giraffe, and so on until you have added all your coloring images and created all your coloring pages. And so once you have added all your coloring images and created all your pages, you can download using this share button. Download your book in a PDF format, and it is ready to upload to your Amazon KDP account. You do not have to do anything more than that. Now, step 4, creating your cover. Your cover is so important because it is basically what sells your book, really. It is what catches the customer's eye when they're browsing Amazon, and it's what makes it stand out from all the other books in the search results. And you can create your cover yourself if you are confident that you can create a professional, an amazing cover that can compete with all the other professional covers in the search results or on Amazon. But if not, I do highly suggest having someone make your cover for you. There are lots of people on places like Fiverr who can create you a coloring book cover specific for Amazon KDP at very affordable prices and in just a couple of days. Now, once you have your cover file completed, you now have everything you need to upload your book to Amazon and into your Amazon account. Step 5, upload your book and publish. Hopefully this video has given you lots of helpful information and a bit of an insight into how to use AI tools to create a children's coloring book to publish on Amazon using the Amazon KDP platform. The trick to using AI is just experimenting with the prompts until you get the right kind of images produced from it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.